Have you ever wondered why der sometimes becomes den and du sometimes becomes dich? And so my education pretty much went like this. Can anybody tell me how we would say I love you in German? Ich liebe du? Try again. Ich liebe dir? Ich liebe dich? Very good. Okay, so moving on. Why? Because you is the object of the sentence. You as in the person that I love, or did you mean you as in me? You are the subject of the sentence, but you, meaning dich, would be the object of the sentence. But dich is a person, not an object. Oh yes, but we're not talking about people when we say object. We mean the, never mind, shall we move on? Right. So basically, the first thing that you need to do to understand German grammar is understand that there are 3 genders. No, when a word is masculine, it does not mean that it looks masculine, has stubble, talks with a low voice and has lots of muscles. And when a word is feminine, it does not mean that she talks with a high voice, wears high heels, and has long eyelashes. You just have to accept that there are 3 different words for the in German. Der, which is masculine, die, which is feminine, or das, which is neuter. How do you know if a word is masculine, feminine, or neuter? 2 different ways. The first one is simply look it up in a dictionary. Let's take the word dog. Hund. Ta-ta-ta-ta, der Hund. If you look it up in a real dictionary, then the word will either have an M next to it for masculine, an F next to it for feminine, and an NT next to it for neuter. There are also specific endings which trigger a word to be either masculine, feminine, or neuter. For example, words ending in ung are always feminine. Die Rechnung, die Globalisierung. Okay, so now we know the gender of a word. We can try and figure out what is going on with this den, because as you just heard, den was not one of the 3 options that I just gave you. For example, let's take a very simple sentence in English first. Janet likes the dog. Janet likes the dog. My first question about this sentence is, who is the center of attention? Janet. Well, it doesn't revolve around you, Janet. Always wanting the attention. Janet is the center of attention in this sentence. She's talking about herself. We're talking about Janet. That makes Janet the subject of the sentence. She's the person that's being talked about, really, or the person that's being referred to. Anything that is the subject of a sentence, meaning Janet, is in the nominative. Well, hold the phone. What did I just say? The nominative is the first of 4 cases in German. What is a case? A case, which English, by the way, doesn't have. We have remnants of it, but not really. It's basically what helps us differentiate in a sentence between who is doing what, with whom, by whom, for whom, who, what, where. All the different details of the sentence are separated into different categories, if you like. Nominative is the first category. Nominative is the easiest category. It's the easiest case because it's the case that everybody knows. Der, die, das, and die. When you look up a word in the dictionary, you will see der Hund, die Frau, das Haus, und die Menschen. For example, if we go back to our sentence, Janet is in the nominative. Okay, Janet is a name, so we can't really see it that well. What if we take Janet out of the sentence? I don't think she'll be very happy with that. And we make somebody else the center of attention. For example, the father. The father likes the dog. We need to know, first of all, is father der, die, oder das? If you look it up in the dictionary, you'll find it's der Vater. Der Vater is the center of attention. He's the person that is being talked about. So it's going to be in the nominative, very easy, der Vater. Okay, we're a third of the way there to making the sentence. Der Vater likes would be mag, and we want the dog. As we looked at before, we know that Hund is masculine. So you might think that we would now say, der Vater mag der Hund, which is logical because that's what we would do in English. However, we can't say der Vater mag der Hund because we can't have 2 subjects. Not everybody can be the center of attention, okay? Somebody also has to be receiving the liking. Der Vater is giving the liking, and the dog is receiving the liking. The person who gets the verb, in this case, the liking, done to it, is the object. For an object, we need not the nominative case, but the accusative case. Ah, behold the accusative case. Not much changes with the accusative case. In fact, everything stays the same but the first word, which is the masculine word. Die Frau stays die Frau, das Haus stays das Haus, and die Menschen stays die Menschen. But der Hund, it's an object, becomes den Hund. Who is loving? Der Vater. Who is being loved? The dog. Ooh, ta-da! So as you can see, out of the two different cases that we have learnt, the nominative and the accusative, we want to say the dog at the end of the sentence. The dad likes the dog. So we need to go to the accusative and we need to go to the masculine, which makes it den. Obviously, like I said, some of them don't change, so don't worry if you think, okay, der Vater mag die Frau. Oh no, die Frau is the same as nominative. Have I got it right? Yes, you have. It will be accusative, but it just doesn't look any different in that case. Another good way of finding out whether the word that comes after the verb is accusative or nominative is by actually looking the verb up in the dictionary. What you'll see is something like this. So we'll take the word mag. Der Vater mag den Hund, which comes from the verb mögen. If you look mögen up in the dictionary, you will see on the German side, it will say this. Mögen plus A-double-K. Of course, we know what that means now. That means plus accusative. You wouldn't say ich mag der Hund, because that would be nominative. You would say ich mag den Hund. Of course, there are lots and lots of other verbs that take the accusative, including lieben, haben, hören, küssen. I kiss my dog a lot, so ich küsse den Hund. As you are talking more and more German and as you are hearing more and more German, you will get to know which of the verbs are followed by the accusative and which are followed by nominative, and so on. Trust me on that one. Another thing worth mentioning is that the accusative is not only used with the object of a sentence, and it's not only used with a few specific verbs. I'm sorry, but it's also used with some prepositions. This one you've just got to learn. A preposition indicates where something is, in, on, at, under, through. One of the prepositions, for example, that uses the accusative is ohne, which means without, which is why you will find without you is ohne dich and not ohne du. Let's take a look at our words for you. We have nominative, du, accusative. Dich, ohne, takes the accusative, so it would be ohne dich. Another one, for example, that takes the accusative would be for, für. Again, if I want to say for you, then I would use the accusative version of the word for you, which is dich. Now I think we can figure out the reason for I love you being ich liebe dich and not ich liebe du. Dich is of course in the accusative because it is the one that is receiving the love. I'm not the one receiving the love. To remind you that this is actually exactly the same in other languages as well. In Spanish, for example, to say I love you, you wouldn't say tú amo, you would say te amo. I love he, I love him. Let's come on to the word a. You'll see this table often, ein, eine, einen, ein. If I want to say, I have a dog, we have already seen that the verb haben takes the accusative. A dog is going to be in the accusative. We know a dog is masculine, so here's our masculine column. And we also know that we need to use the accusative. Voila! You can now see that I need to say, ich habe einen Hund. Thanks for watching this video. I really hope that it helped clear up that big cloud that is German grammar. If you would like to know a little bit more about the German cases, more specifically the genitive and the dative, which are the two cases that we have not looked at today, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel and you'll find the videos there. And also please like this video because
ich liebe dich.